So as you can see, I've got my webbing on. This is the bug out system within the bug out system. Should all else fail, I can grab this, run into the wilderness, and I'd be quite comfortable living with what's in here and also what I have in my pockets anyway. But it only contains the basics: maintenance kit for things, protection, and obviously a tool to survive with. Water in there. There's a very basic cooking system. There's also a hat and gloves, first aid kit, things like that. Camouflage and concealment stuff as well. Also there's a bag on the back here, you'll notice. That's if I find something scavenging, I've got something to collect it in. But we'll take a closer look at this now, see what's inside. Right, so here it is, laid out on the floor, as am I. Right, I'll just start from this side to this side and go through what's in here. First pouch you've got, you see some sort of pistol holsters, desert colour, but doesn't matter. And they'll just contain glow sticks. I've only got one in here at the moment because I recently used a couple. So they need topping up, but it's always good to have a light source, quick to use at hand. So they normally live on the front. Inside here we have field dressing. What is it? Emergency bandage. Again, you never know, you're working with sharp tools and you have an accident, you're going to need that pretty quick. So I know where that is. There's also a similar thing inside my jacket as well, so there's always one around me. In here, it's a tin of Spam. Again, very nice. If you slice this up, fry it. It's just a quick meal to get us out of the trouble, should we be in any. A tin of hollow points. I think it's more than just hollow points in there. I've got a bit of a mixed bag. Yeah. So we got in here. We got some of these bullet type hollow points, and I've got a bit of a mixed bag just for the. I have options. I'm not just limited to one. Don't know why. They'll do the same job, but it's nice to have options. Bovril. Very nutritious, beef flavoured. You can always use that to flavour things that you've foraged, or just drink it like that with a bit of water. Lovely. And I love another tin of Spam. They just fit nice in there. It's a good meal to have. Also in that pouch, I just got some these water purification tablets in a little bag, and again the bag is handy as well, doesn't hurt just to have it around. Inside what is the bayonet sheath, I have my knife. Now when I get this on, I've put that straight on the belt that I'm wearing on my trousers now. That won't live in the webbing, that will live on me at all times. So if I was out with nothing, I'd have a decent knife on me. Always keep your knife on you, you're not separate from it. I have in here a survival guide and a first aid manual. Reason for that is, it is all stored up there in my head, but sometimes you'll forget, especially in a stressful situation. Again, in a nice little waterproof bag. It doesn't hurt just to be reminded. Make sure you're not going wrong. Matches, again, this is full of matches, the long headed matches in a Sealy bag, why not. Another glow stick, this one I believe is red, 12 hour. Probably the only bit of technology in here is a very crap torch. Very crap. I don't intend to use it really. I don't even know why I'm carrying it, but there are no spare batteries. just this, but it could be turned into something else should I need to. Now, the perimeter alarms. Yes, I carried perimeter alarms in here, and I believe there's a box of matches in there with it as well, in a nice thick bag. I can always set them up wherever I'm hiding out at my bug out location, and I have an early warning system should someone approach. The centre pouch is my first aid kit. We've all got different things in our first aid kit, but I'm not going to go through this. You know what needs to go in a first aid kit, and you should tailor the first aid kit to you and your situation. Always do that. Get that belt through it. Have a pair of gloves to keep me warm. A hat, but this one doubles into a balaclava, so I can cover my whole face, still see, or roll it up into a woolly hat as you do. Some fishing line for you fishing buffs out there. 11.4 key, nothing fancy, it's just fishing line to me. Use it for making traps or obviously catching fish. Again, some more pellets for the rifle. These ones, there's a bit of cotton wool in there just to stop everything rattling around, but there's a mixed bag of hornets, hollow points, all sorts of things in there. Again, the tin can be used as well, making char cloth. Poke a hole in the top, stuff some cloth in there, stick that in the fire, and well, if you know how to make char cloth, you've got char cloth. Pair of socks. I know it sounds stupid, but your feet are very important, especially when you're in a hard situation. Always have a clean pair of socks for the night while you're drying your other ones out should they get wet. Always good to keep some socks. Also, you can use this for filtering stuff. You can use them as a bag to carry stuff in. Water filtration, as I've said. There's 101 uses for socks, so always carry socks. Again, that's a little weight for the fishing kit. And in here we've got some floats and some weights and some hooks in there. Yep, just for fishing. If there's a lake or a stream nearby, you've got the option to catch some dinner. Oh, also forgot to mention condoms. No, I'm not going out on the raz for the night. That is for catching water, collecting water. Sorry, water doesn't run madly in the stream. You can keep your tinder dry with that. They're also very flammable if need be, so always carry them. You can also use them as a glove. If you're administering first aid, you can put them on your hand for a sort of improvised sterile mitt. Water bottle, nothing fancy, just a plastic bottle, green, of course. This is the metal cup I mentioned. That goes on that shaped thing that goes on top of the hexi burner. I can drink out of this, cook with this. Yeah, it's a cooking pot. Foldable handles. That's it with that. Now, of course, this is where Molly lives, and yes, she comes with me. What can I say? It's Molly. Always take your knife, keep it on there. She is protection, and she is kept razor sharp at all times. And I mean, I could shave with this. And to prove I'm not joking, I can shave with her, and just to prove that point, as you can see, yeah, that is sharp. So that is probably katana sharp. So, like I say, you always need a sharp blade. A blunt blade is dangerous, more dangerous than a sharp blade. always keep it sharp and ready to use. So just in the interest of safety for this video, I am going to put her back in her shoe. No one can get hurt. The next pouch is the maintenance kit, and inside here I like to keep some 3-in-1 spray oil, straw for the oil obviously, a sharpening stone, smoothish end, roughish end. It's a sharpening stone. Yellow rag, again that's for the oil. Spread it out. You can easily theoretically spread that out and put things on while you're cleaning them, keep them off the ground. It's the general rub over, stuff like that. Sorry, nature called. Yeah, and the last bit in there, of course, a multi-tool, can't go wrong with that. You've got pliers on there, you've got a knife, screwdrivers, big screwdrivers, little blades, saw blades, again screwdrivers, bottle openers, tin openers. Where is it? Where's that little square thing? This square dealie, which will become apparent in a minute. Just put all that away. I don't poke myself with it. Also in there is the tools that go on the end of that square dealie, and obviously the bit that connects them. Yeah, that's a combination tool for an SA80. I don't have an SA80 unfortunately, but that can still do plenty of jobs, and it's got a little drill bit on it, so yeah. It's actually for cleaning out gas parts, but it is still a drill bit. So yeah, I believe that's it for that, and don't you worry about that pouch. And that's pretty much, oh sorry, also keep on the back here a sort of camouflage scrim net, obviously for camouflaging purposes, and a Hessemin sack. Again, I can go foraging with that and put whatever I foraged in here. I can store things in it, or it would make, in an emergency, say I severely hurt my arm, I could wrap myself up with that. Obviously I'd probably want to boil that first, bit itchy, but again, keep you alive. So yeah, that's pretty much the contents of my webbing. So the jacket, this I would put on as soon as I got into the field basically, and it'd probably never leave me. So what do I keep in it? Well, I'll start from this pouch. The first thing, and you'll notice it's tethered to the jacket itself, is a compass, and that is tethered to the pocket. I can always find my way if I need to. A field dressing, slightly old, but still, it's a field dressing. They don't go out of date in my eyes. People say they go out of date, but always have a field dressing on you. Next pocket, there's a side one. Inside it I have a bag. Needle and cotton, have to be able to repair your clothes because they're going to deteriorate. I've got a selection of fishing hooks in there and other bits. Fishing, I'm able to do fishing. A spoon, spork, for the purposes of eating. What looks like a pen, not actually a pen. If you undo this, there's more in there. They just won't come out at the moment, but I've got all different shapes and sizes, and they fit in the end of that. And I'm able to repair things like equipment I have on me if I've got the rifle on me, if something goes wrong with that, I can adjust my sights. That's of course if the webbing has gone and I'm left with the jacket. But I have a small screwdriver kit. Pen and pencil, obviously for writing, and of course a notebook. Never know when you're going to need to write something down, so always carry notebook, pen. We got one empty pocket. So the next pocket is here. Inside there I have a survival kit. I'm not going to go through it now. I might go through it in another video of what I keep in here, but just a quick glimpse. There's all sorts of survival items in there. Fire starters, a spearhead, which is also a bottle opener, and other things. Obviously a knife, emergency blanket, net, matches, extra fishing kit, fire striker with some rubber like inner tube bands on, but that can also be fitted to my belt, doesn't have to go into the pocket and bulk out my pockets. Next is cam cream, of course. Next, cam cream, for the camouflaging of my face, hands. Again, I don't want to stand out. It is going to be a pretty covert thing. Something shiny. If I need to, I can. It's a reflective surface. Don't know why. I just thought it'd be better to go in there. Don't know, really. Just thought it'd be a sensible option. Next pocket. A bigger knife. Again, it's made by Marksman. I can do a review on this if someone wants, but I'm not going to go into it. It's just a standard knife. It's nothing special. A lighter. It doesn't work. It does work. It's got again inner tube bands, ranger bands I think they call them, over it. Easier to light fires with. Swiss Army knife. Again, if you want to know, I'll let you know, but it's got everything on there that you could possibly want. That's the make of it. You got that?